Hello everyone, Zelrant here, and for today's video on Girls Frontline 2, we have a lot to talk about with the broadcast we had yesterday with the English version, but also some information that was accidentally leaked by Mika on the upcoming units on the CN version. So we'll get into that first. So the first thing is, they did announce that the CN livestream for the next upcoming event is going to be on July 1st at 6 in the morning. Now, there's a big negative to this is I work in the office on Tuesdays, and I go into the office at 7, so I will not be able to live stream and watch this. So I'll have to just make a follow-up video when I get off work next Tuesday. But the nice thing is, as you can see here, they accidentally leaked who the upcoming unit is through merchandise that they accidentally put in the store early. And so it looks like it's going to be a big event. So they've kind of now established that about every 3 months, or like every 3 banners, basically, they're going to do one of these double event type things. So while we didn't have like a true half anniversary with Global, it's basically every 3 months. So we had Klukai like after our first 3 months, and now we're going into the next 3 months getting the Springfield Paris. Then it's Leva, and I forget who was after Leva. It was Leva and Robella, and now CN's having their next double event. And it's going to be AN94 and AK15, at least based on the fact that they accidentally put merchandise out there. A mouse pad, I don't know where it was announced. Maybe someone put it in my general chat here. Was it this one? Yeah, they accidentally dropped merchandise on the store that showcased them front and center. So that is fully what we are expecting for the next units to come out. AK15 was a big one. I think a lot of people were wanting, and they'd already hinted at both of them. So those are going to be the next 2 big units. And as we've seen with these double events, like the best units have been in them. I mean, we had Klukai, absolutely best. Springfield, the top tier best support currently, and Leva, really good for the electric team and kind of brought them up to value as well. So I'm wondering what we're going to see with AN94 and AK15. I will be doing a follow-up follow-up video on this once I get off work on Tuesday. I will review it and probably make some posts once it's coming out, but I'll have to make a follow-up video when I get off work for that. But then we have everything that kind of came out for the global version, and I don't think everything is kind of in the announcements here. So let me actually switch over to switch to YouTube here. Let's see. Oh, that's not good. There we go. All right, so we do have the devs live stream here. So I watched this live yesterday while I was doing Muse live stream playing that. And so in the middle of that, this went live, so we watched it and went through the whole thing. That's actually why my voice is kind of, if it sounds a little hoarse right now. Been doing 11-hour plus streams for the release of like Persona 5 and Muse. Been a crazy couple days. But with this one, they had a bunch of good announcements. I'm going to start positive in this. I know everybody wants me to talk about the big thing that was missing, and I will be bringing that up, but I want to stay with positive as much as I can, because I am still hyped for this, regardless of the fact that they are not bringing the thing that we are all waiting for. So the big things are here. We know it's going to be Springfield and Pre coming up. Now, Springfield's absolutely top tier unit. Everybody should absolutely pull for at least her V0. If you have enough, go for her V1. I feel Free is a very skippable unit if you're free to play, because the burn team does not include her if you have all the other units, which would be QJ, Sharkry, Vector, hopefully Vector V1, and then you have we'll have Chawa, who they did announce the next unit's going to be Chawa, the shotgun burn girl. I don't know where she is. I think it was towards the end. Yeah. They did say that she's coming up next. So she's the last piece of the puzzle for the burn team. So we have Vector, Sharkry, QJ, Senorisi / Senia for your sustain. Chawa is another big damage dealer with a huge dot, especially if you go to V6 on her. Don't go over her V6. Let a whale do that and borrow her. So Paris is going to be an easy skippable one. So you should dump everything into Springfield. Because one thing they did say is both Free and Springfield are coming at the exact same time. And so, and as we already know, I'll get a little bit more into it. We're not going to be able to convert the redundant pieces slash everybody's favorite currency, the Doritos. It is not coming with this patch. So those who've been saving, expecting to have that to pull over Springfield, we won't have that. So definitely would say skipping Paris is a good choice here to make sure you can get your copies of Springfield that you want. Now, Springfield will rerun in 4 patches. And if for some reason you're really hurting at this point, I would continue to save up for that Springfield. Chawa is an easy skip as well. She's good and part of the core burn team, but she's the best borrow unit. So Gunsmoke Frontline, which is really when it matters the most in terms of building the most fit team, she's going to be the unit you're going to want to borrow with the burn team. So you'll be able to skip her pretty easily as well, in my opinion. And so depending on how many pulls you have, definitely if you can't get at least V1 Springfield now, I would start saving for V1 when she reruns in 4 patches. We have that. They announced the skin for Springfield. Nice skin there. The other big thing, I mean, this one was fully expected. But then again, there's another, the other thing was fully expected as well and didn't happen. But they did announce Faye, and getting the free copy of Faye, she's getting added to the standard banner, including her weapon. So everybody will be able to get her, although physical team is kind of really bad right now, in a bad state. Really not going to have much value out of her right now unless you're brand new. If you're brand new, that's really good. But physical really needs to kind of step it up in the future, especially with the next unit. Hopefully AN94 or AK15 can fix physical issues if one of them's physical. But either way, good new unit. She gets added to the standard banner, and she actually has good dupes. She just doesn't really have a team to kind of support her heavily at this point. But if you really like physically, really like Yuhi and all that, you don't need to have the best team. And then you can build her up to pair with Yuhi, Diane, eventually Lainey. And yeah, you'll be good to go there. So that's nice that we're getting her. And then where's the other big thing here? You have our standard events. Oh, they did announce a lot of the merchandise stuff. Like I had said before, I really liked the figure they had for Klukai coming out. Absolutely a must pre-order for me. And they showcased the one that's kind of a work in progress for Yuhi. And this one looks crazy good as well. Like, I really hope they don't release both of them at the same time, because this is going to be an absolute must pre-order as well, because this figure is using her skin in game. It's unpainted at this time because it's still a work in progress in terms of production. So there's no pre-orders, I think, for it yet. Same with the Klukai one. But absolutely crazy. Now we have the big thing that we didn't see here. I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, there's the other really big one that I think is really important for new players. And I think a lot of people, because they were waiting on the Dorito announcement, really kind of skipped over it. But I think it's a really big deal that they're starting to add in the past events story. So new players can see the old stories. I think they have the very first one we had with Suomi and Ulrid. So that one will be available. So new players can actually get understand the story concepts with some of these bigger stories. We have those. We'll have Diane's and all the others that eventually will be added. So new players can catch up in terms of that on the lore. And I think that's all the big things they announced. And so now we come to the one thing that wasn't announced, since I did say I would kind of make a comment on it. I don't like to be the negative person when it comes to games. But I think this one is kind of a big misstep on their part. As everybody probably saw as they're watching this, if they watched my stream or you watched their stream or you were in the Discord, all the people going crazy because we are not going to be getting the ability to convert as everybody calls them, the Doritos. I think they're called actually redundant pieces. But the pieces that you can currently right now in the shop trade 900 of them in for a standard weapon. On CN, on their half anniversary, they got the ability to convert those into pulls at 30 pulls for 900. Or I think it's 1 pull for 30 or something like that. And so a lot of people were expecting that, myself included, because we are past the point in terms of time the game has been out when CN got it. And they've given us a lot of the quality of life on CN early, or from CN a lot earlier. So it was fully expected. And so this is a big patch because Springfield's a big unit that a lot of people want a V6. Now, if you're free to play or a low spender, I would advise not doing that regardless of how good it is. But one of the big things that was going to help out a lot of people to get those dupes, including myself, is those redundant pieces, because I got like 250 pulls tied up in them when we eventually, hopefully, when we eventually get that update. Maybe there'll be enough blowback in terms of making them want to give it to us as soon as possible because of all the negativity I saw on it. Because I feel like this was like the perfect opportunity for them to give it. First of all, everybody wants to get V6 Springfield. So this is the best time to give it to us, because unless you're a super whale, even if you've saved up all your redundant pieces, it's not enough to V6 her unless you've been spending money in other ways. And so what it would be good for if they were to give it now was people can now get rid of them, get them out of their inventory, because I know they can see the data on it. They can see everybody saving them up. They do it now. Everybody dumps all of them, spends those pulls on Springfield, probably still can't get V6, so then they spend money. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity, not only for it being good for the players, but good for them too, because I think it would have helped them get people to spend money, because they'll get 2 or 3 copies of Springfield, and they'll be like, I need to push the V6 and spend money. But they chose not to, so to me, it kind of creates a little bit of a concern of when they actually are going to give it to us, because I know they can see the data, and so they know how much people are saving. They can probably see on a broad spectrum that people are saving a ton of those up, because people like me and other creators have told people don't use them spending standard weapons. And so as more time goes on, people are going to save up more and more. And it's a hype builder. Like, you don't want to give out this quality of life on a filler patch. One, you give it on that filler patch, especially if it's a good character, you're not going to make any money on that patch because people are going to use the redundant pieces to get them. And so it really makes me feel like if they're going to give it, we have to wait. I think Leva's banner is like their next best opportunity. That or Springfield's rerun. Like, I don't see any other good places to really give us that update. Well, maybe they just give it to us on the next patch. Although they give it to us on the next patch, that's also a PR nightmare for them. Because if they give it to us after Springfield's banner ends, people are going to be like, what the heck? It could make sense because Chawa's got a really good V6 as well. But people will definitely complain if they give it to us right after the biggest unit in the game comes out in terms of value with the dupes. So, yeah, I think it's a really big misstep on them. Not only is it bad for the players, but I ultimately think it's bad for them in terms of making more money. I ultimately think they would make more money if they gave it right now. But I'm not in there. I don't work there. I'm not the one seeing the numbers, so we'll see what happens there. It's not killing the hype for me on the patch. I think it's a really good patch. I really like Springfield. I still really like the game. It's not like something where I'm going to boycott it or anything over. But it does kind of suck. That's kind of my comments on it. I don't like to get into the drama and all that with games. But overall, I think that made the entire live stream a letdown was kind of that. Because they had a lot of other good stuff in there. Like I said, the figure's great. I really like they're adding the past events. They're adding a bunch of other little things, like some stuff with music and that I kind of forgot to mention. So overall, pretty good update. Just missing the one big thing. So I will be live streaming this when it drops on Thursday. Now, we also have Nikkei, I think it's the Nier Automata collab starting at the same time. So it's going to be a really big stream on Thursday. So I will be doing both of them. And right after I get done doing all that, I will have to get off at some point earlier that day. Because normally I'd like to play all day. We've already kind of seen it now with Umamamuse, where I can just play for 11 hours straight. So we're going to have to push through the Springfield story, everything we can as soon as we get that. Because I will be going to visit family for 4th of July, so I will be leaving as soon as I'm done live streaming on Thursday. But I will be bringing my camera and an old PC, so hopefully, if everything works correctly, I can still make videos, but I won't be able to really live stream for much, if I do at all. But I will be back in time for the Lost Sword launch on the 10th, which hopefully that'll be a big one too, because this was the Umamamuse was such a big launch for me. It was so crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm kind of rambling now. But overall, Springfield's great. It's going to be a good patch. We'll get the Dorito conversion, I think, at some point. The surveys are available now. Make sure to put that you want that. Everybody absolutely should put in the survey on what you want or requested features is that. Make sure to put it in the survey. If they can see it, and they see all the comments, maybe they panic and give it early. You never know. But make sure to put it in the survey. But that's it for now. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.